Hey there, America. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a wound that still stings. A pain that's never really left us, the Vietnam War. For so many of you, veterans, families, or just folks who felt its shadow, this isn't some dusty history lesson. It's a scar on our nation's heart. A hurt that lingers in quiet moments. From 1955 to 1975, this war ripped through our lives, tearing apart families, breaking spirits, and shaking the soul of who we are as Americans. It wasn't just fought in the jungles of Southeast Asia, it was a battle in our hometowns. Our hearts, our homes, for the guys who made it back, for the ones we lost, for a generation that watched our country fracture. Vietnam is a ghost that hasn't gone away. Why did Vietnam hit us so hard? Why do some say it was 6 times worse than World War II? The war that made us a superpower? How did a fight in a small country halfway across the globe bring America to its knees? Costing us lives, money, and something even harder to replace, our pride? In this video, we're gonna face that pain head on. The lives we lost, the minds we broke, the trust we shattered. It's a tough story, so grab a seat, maybe keep a tissue handy, and let's walk through the hurt, the lessons, and the legacy of Vietnam together. Here we go. Let's rewind to the years after World War II, because that's where this story starts. In 1945, America was riding high. We'd just beaten the Nazis and Japan, saving the world from darkness. Our factories were pumping out everything from tanks to TVs. Our military was untouchable, with ships and planes no one could match. At home, things were good, real good. Suburbs were popping up, families were growing, and the American dream was something you could almost touch. We were proud, united, and ready for anything. World War II wasn't just a win, it was proof we were the good guys. Our boys came home to parades. Heroes in every sense. The GI Bill gave them college, homes, a shot at a better life. America wasn't just a country, it was the world's hope. The land of the free. We thought we could do no wrong. And why not? We had the cash, the firepower, and the moral high ground. That confidence shaped everything we did next. But confidence can blind you. The world was splitting fast. The Soviet Union became our rival. And the Cold War kicked off, capitalism versus communism. Us against them. We took it on ourselves to stop communism anywhere it showed up. Korea was our first big test. From 1950 to 1953, we didn't exactly win, but we held the line. And it made us cocky. So when a little place called Vietnam started leaning communist, we figured, piece of cake, we got this. Vietnam was a mystery to most Americans back then. A French colony for years. It was a world away. After World War II, the Vietnamese wanted out. On September 2, 1945, their leader, Ho Chi Minh, stood in Hanoi and declared independence, even quoting our Declaration of Independence. But France wasn't letting go. They fought to keep Vietnam, starting a bloody war from 1946 to 1954. We jumped in early, not with troops, but with money. Starting in 1947, we sent billions to help France fight Ho's communist Viet Minh. It wasn't about Vietnam, it was about stopping the Red Wave. If Vietnam fell, our leaders said, the rest of Asia might follow. They called it the domino theory. And it drove us straight into disaster. When France got crushed at Dien Bien Phu in 1954, they bailed. The Geneva Accords split Vietnam in two, the communist North under Ho Chi Minh, the anti-communist South backed by us. On November 1, 1955, we doubled down, setting up a team to train the South Vietnamese army. That's when the Pentagon says our war started, though the roots go back further. Either way, we walked into Vietnam like we owned the place. Sure, we'd win fast. We had the best weapons, the biggest budget, the track record, but we didn't know Vietnam, its people, its land, its will to fight. We underestimated them, and we overestimated ourselves. That mistake broke us in ways we're still feeling. Vietnam wasn't just a war, it was a nightmare that dragged on for 20 years. From 1955 to 1975, it chewed through 5 presidents: Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford. It wasn't a quick scrap, it was a slow, ugly grind that tested everything we had. We threw in 2.7 million troops, kids from every state. Drafted or volunteered, sent to a hell most didn't get. Our factories roared. 22,000 of them cranking out tanks, choppers, bombs. We brought allies, Australia, South Korea, others, with 70,000 troops at the peak. We backed 1 million South Vietnamese soldiers. And the bombs? We dropped 7 million tons. Twice what we used in World War II. B-52s lit up the sky. Napalm burned the jungle. Hueys buzzed like wasps. We thought we could blast our way to victory. But the Vietnamese didn't break. The North Vietnamese Army and Viet Cong fought like their lives depended on it, because they did. They knew every trail, every river. Their people backed them, seeing them as heroes, not invaders. The Soviets and Chinese sent guns and gear. They were ready to die for their country, and we didn't see that coming. Every move we made, they countered, turning Vietnam into a trap that ate our men, our money, our hope. The human cost is where it hurts most. 58.220 Americans died. That's 58.220 names carved into the Vietnam Memorial. Each one a son, a brother, a friend. More died than in World War I. These were kids. Some just 18, sent to die in a jungle for war no one could explain. Then there were the wounded. 305,000 came home scarred. Bullet holes, shrapnel, legs blown off by mines. 153,000 were disabled. 23,000 so broken they'd never walk or work again. They survived, but for many, life stopped in Vietnam. The mental wounds cut deepest. Vietnam gave us PTSD, though we called it Vietnam Syndrome back then. About 700,000 vets, 1 in 4, came back haunted. Nightmares of gunfire, flashbacks from a car horn, panic attacks in a mall, depression that drowned them. For these guys, the war didn't end, it followed them home. And the suicides, God. The suicides. Between 70,000 and 300,000 vets took their own lives. More than we lost in combat. They beat the jungle but couldn't beat the memories. Added up, deaths, suicides, wounded, and Vietnam's toll nears 400,000. Close to World War II's 405,000. But in a smaller, longer war with no victory to soften the blow. Every number hides a story. There's Tommy, a kid from Chicago, who lost his arm to a grenade in his hope to booze. There's Sarah, a nurse from Georgia, who held dying boys and still hears their screams. There's Joe, a vet from Philly, who came home to jeers and ended it all in a garage. These are our people, our neighbors, our kin. They're us. The money hurt, too. We spent $676 billion, $1.2 trillion today. Only World War II cost more. With veterans' care and ripple effects, it's 1.2 to 1.8 trillion, maybe topping World War II. Compare that to the interstate highways, 53 billion, or Apollo, 25 billion. Vietnam was a money pit. Factories switched from making cars to bombs, leaving shelves empty. Prices shot up. Inflation hit double digits. The deficit exploded. And in 1971, Nixon ditched the gold standard, shaking the world. For regular folks, life got tough. Gas lines, job losses, dreams on hold. Nixon said it himself. We'd never wasted so much for so little. But the real pain was our pride. After World War II, we were the world's heroes. Vietnam broke that. TV brought the war home, burning villages. Dead kids, body bags. My Lai in 1968. Where our troops killed civilians. Shamed us. The Pentagon Papers in 1971 showed our leaders lied. Trust in Washington crumbled. Allies doubted us. Enemies laughed. At home, protests erupted. Berkeley, Kent State, where 4 kids died in 1970. The country split. Pro-war versus anti-war. Old versus young. It wasn't just politics, it was personal. Tearing us apart. Our vets got it worst. World War II guys got parades. Vietnam vets got spit. Protesters called them killers. Threw things at airports. Many hid their service. Ashamed of a war we wanted to forget. They expected thanks but got rejection. That betrayal hurt more than any bullet. It's why so many struggled. Why so many didn't make it. So why was Vietnam 6 times worse than World War II? It's not just the deaths or dollars. It's how it broke us. In World War II, soldiers fought 40 days a year. In Vietnam, It was 246 times more. 8 months of danger. Every day a fight for life. The war lasted 2.943 days. From March 8, 1965, to March 29, 1973. Longer than the Civil War. Longer than anything. World War II had clear enemies. Vietnam was guerrillas. The Viet Cong hid among civilians. A farmer could be a sniper. A kid a bomber. Even safe zones weren't safe. Tet in 1968 hit 100 cities. Catching us off guard. Traps, tunnels, ambushes kept our guys on edge. Always scared. The mental strain was brutal. World War II had a clear goal: beat Hitler. Vietnam was a mess. Stop communism? Help South Vietnam? Nobody knew. That confusion ate at our troops. And back home, the anti-war movement grew. Protesters marched, burned draft cards, called our guys murderers. It felt like a stab in the back. My lie and other horrors weighed heavy, leaving guilt and shame. The jungle itself was hell: heat, bugs, disease, traps. Our guys were never safe, never at peace. Coming home was worse. World War II vets were heroes. Vietnam vets were outcasts. Spat on, insulted, ignored. Many hid their medals, trying to forget. That rejection fueled Vietnam Syndrome, PTSD that wrecked lives. Nightmares, flashbacks, addiction, homelessness, the suicides, 70.000 to 300.000, show how deep it cut. World War II ended in victory. Vietnam ended in shame. On April 30, 1975, Saigon fell. Helicopters fleeing the embassy became our defeat. Nixon said we lost at home. 2. In Congress, newsrooms, universities, living rooms. The unity of World War II was gone. Vietnam broke our trust. The aftermath was rough. The economy tanked in the 1970s. Inflation soared. Jobs vanished. Gas lines grew. The American dream faded. Society split. Protesters versus patriots. A divide we still feel. Vets were forgotten until the Vietnam Memorial in 1982 gave them a place to heal. The military change, ending the draft, pulling back until the Gulf War. Globally, we looked weak. Allies doubted us. Enemies gained ground. Vietnam inspired rebels worldwide, showing giants could fall. We went from heroes to bullies. And it stung. But Vietnam taught us hard truths. Power isn't enough without a real cause. Our people won't stay quiet when they see wrong. We failed our vets. We must do better. War costs too much: lives, money, trust, and healing takes time. The scars remain, but we can learn, grow, unite. Vietnam was our darkest hour. 6 times worse than World War II in the pain it carved into our souls. It took 58.220 lives, broke countless others, and humbled us. For those who served, who lost, who hurt, the war lives on. Thank you for facing this with us. If it hit you, like it, share it, subscribe, comment your thoughts, your stories. Let's talk. Until next time, honor our vets, learn from our pain, and fight for peace. Stay strong, America.